Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The laughter was still echoing off the walls when I heard it, my wife's voice low but sharp, slicing through the music like a shard of glass. I can't stop thinking about last night, she whispered. It was the way she said it. Soft, trembling, charged with something forbidden. My heart stopped mid-beat. The glass of whiskey in my hand froze halfway to my lips. She wasn't talking to me. For a split second I told myself I misheard. The crowd was loud, drunk, and half the people were slurring. But when I turned my head slightly, through the dim light of the living room, I saw her, Rachel, leaning too close to Tom, my best friend. Her hand brushed his wrist as they laughed. Something inside me went cold. The party was meant to celebrate my promotion. Our friends had decorated the place, the music was good, and everyone was a little too drunk to notice the tension building in the corner. Everyone except me. I tried to breathe. Tried to tell myself it was nothing. They'd always been close. They joked, they teased each other. She'd even helped him through his divorce last year. But there was something different in the way her eyes lingered on him tonight. Something that made the noise around us fade until it was just their voices threading through the chaos. Tom laughed, that easy, confident laugh of his, and said, "You shouldn't say that here." Rachel smiled, a small, dangerous smile. "No one's listening." But I was. My hand tightened around the glass until it almost shattered. I forced a smile when someone clapped me on the back, congratulating me again. My throat was dry. My mind screamed to look away, to stop listening, to not destroy the illusion. But the words had already cracked something inside me. I needed proof. I walked toward the kitchen, pretending to grab another drink, glancing over as casually as I could. They were still there. Tom's hand brushed a strand of her hair behind her ear, the motion so intimate I felt sick. She didn't pull away. That was the moment the laughter, the warmth, the noise, all of it died for me. When the guests started leaving, I helped clean up, mechanically stacking plates, wiping counters, nodding at small talk I didn't hear. Rachel was glowing, flushed from the wine, her hair falling loose over her shoulders. When she caught my eye, she smiled, that same soft, practiced smile that used to make me melt. "Did you have fun?" she asked. "Yeah," I said quietly. "You?" Her eyes searched mine for a second too long. "Of course." I didn't ask anything else. Not yet. I wasn't ready for the truth to become real. After everyone left, she started humming while gathering glasses. I watched her hands move, steady and familiar. For years those hands had felt like home. I wanted to scream, to demand an answer, but my voice felt trapped behind the weight of disbelief. Finally I said, "You and Tom seemed close tonight." Her head snapped up. "What do you mean?" I shrugged, trying to sound casual. "Just noticed you two talking a lot." She blinked, then smiled, but her voice wavered slightly. "He's your best friend, Mark. We were just catching up." A reasonable answer. A normal one. But I'd seen the way she looked at him. The way he looked back. Still I said nothing more. I went to bed early. She stayed behind to finish cleaning. I lay there in the dark, eyes open, heart racing. Every sound from the kitchen felt loaded. Her phone buzzing, a faint laugh under her breath, the creak of the floorboards. When she finally came to bed, she slipped in quietly beside me. Her scent, familiar, comforting, wrapped around me like a lie. I waited until her breathing steadied, until I was sure she was asleep. Then I reached for her phone on the nightstand. Her password hadn't changed. The messages were there. Not many, just enough. Enough to burn through me like acid. "Rachel. I can still feel you." "Tom. You shouldn't say that." "Rachel. You didn't say no." I couldn't read anymore. My hand shook as I locked the phone and placed it back exactly where it was. I stared at the ceiling until dawn, the silence heavier than any scream. In the morning, she made coffee like nothing had happened. She kissed my cheek, asked about my meeting, talked about groceries. It was almost cruel how ordinary it all felt. By noon I'd made my decision. That evening I invited Tom over. Told him we were having leftover drinks from the party. When he arrived, Rachel froze. Just for a second. But I caught it, the flicker of panic before she smiled. I poured 3 glasses of whiskey. We toasted. We laughed. It almost felt normal again. Then I set my glass down and said quietly, "You two make a good team." Tom's face drained of color. Rachel's hand trembled as she reached for her drink. "What do you mean?" she asked. I mean, I said slowly, you might as well tell me the truth before I decide for you. The silence that followed was absolute. The kind of silence that hums, thick with unspoken things. Tom looked away first. Mark, Rachel cut him off, tears welling. It just happened once, she whispered. It didn't mean anything. Once. As if that made it better. I stood there, numb. I'd imagined Rage shouting something explosive, but all I felt was emptiness. Like the person I'd loved had died quietly and left this stranger in her place. Tom left without another word. Rachel cried, begged, tried to explain. I listened to none of it. I walked out into the night, the cold air hitting my face like a slap. I ended up at the same park where we'd had our first date years ago. The city lights shimmered on the lake, distorted and broken, just like everything else. And for the first time in my life, I didn't know if I was mourning my marriage or the illusion I'd built of it. When I finally went home, the house was dark. Her things were still there. Our wedding photo on the shelf, smiling back at me like ghosts frozen in time. I didn't touch it. I just stood there, letting the silence answer every question I'd ever been too afraid to ask. And in that silence I realized something terrible. Betrayal doesn't destroy you in one moment. It lingers quiet and invisible, poisoning everything you thought was real.